Welcome to Vital Elixir, your trusted explainer for aging with strength, mobility, and, real independence. I am so glad you're joining us today because we've got a truly transformative topic lined up. We're looking at a completely surprising, totally science-backed habit for healthy aging. And the best part? It doesn't involve heavy weights, expensive supplements, or grueling routines. Let's just dive right in and discover how a really simple, joyful shift in your daily life can absolutely transform your brain, your balance, and your happiness.
So I want you to start by just asking yourself a quick question. Do you remember the last time you danced? Maybe it was at a wedding a few years ago, or heck, maybe just in your kitchen when that one song you loved in your 20s came on the radio. Do you remember that lightness, that absolute joy, the way your body just kind of moved without you judging it or counting reps? Well, today I want to introduce you to Elena. Elena is a 62-year-old grandmother, and honestly, like a lot of us, she was starting to really feel those physical shifts of aging. She was dealing with that frustrating occasional brain fog, morning joint stiffness, and this growing quiet fear of losing her balance or taking a fall. But she knew she had to stay active if she wanted to keep her independence.
The problem was, Elena was stuck in this incredibly frustrating cycle of forcing the routine versus finding the joy. On one hand, she was white-knuckling her way through these tedious treadmill walks she absolutely dreaded. She was even forcing herself to do crossword puzzles she didn't like, simply because someone told her they were good for her brain. It literally felt like a chore. But on the other hand, she remembered finding liberating, joy-filled movement that used to make her feel so alive. She thought those days were totally behind her, that exercise just had to be this gritty obligation now. But then, she stumbled onto something that changed the whole shebang.
A groundbreaking scientific discovery. Let's see how this incredible 21-year study from the New England Journal of Medicine became the absolute turning point in Elena's journey. Researchers tracked 469 older adults over 2 decades. They looked at pretty much every leisure activity you could imagine. Reading, swimming, walking, cycling, crossword puzzles, and they asked one monumental question. Which activity was associated with the greatest reduction in dementia risk?
While the answer completely stunned the researchers, get a load of this massive number, 76%. Dancing was associated with a 76% reduction in dementia risk. That was the absolute highest of any physical or cognitive activity they looked at. I mean, it beat out reading, it beat out swimming, it even beat out walking. Dancing was literally the single most protective thing they found in the entire study. For Elena, this was a total revelation. Actually, scratch that, it was a lifeline. She realized she didn't have to suffer through a treadmill session to support her brain health. She could just dance.
So you might be wondering, what does this all mean? Why is dance so uniquely powerful? Well, it acts as the ultimate full brain workout. See, when Elena walks on a treadmill, her brain is performing a relatively simple, repetitive task. But when she dances, wow, her brain lights up like a giant fireworks display. She's simultaneously processing the rhythm and melody of the music, planning which movement comes next, coordinating her arms and legs in sequence, and maintaining her balance through constant weight shifts. There is literally no other single activity that engages the motor cortex, the cerebellum, the basal ganglia, and the memory centers of the hippocampus all at once, in real time, quite like dance does.
And this brings us to the fascinating biological mechanism behind that huge brain boost, BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is basically the brain's miracle grow. When you engage in the complex, joyful movement of learning, even really simple dance steps, your brain stimulates the production of this BDNF. Think of it as fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps create brand new neural pathways and strengthens the existing ones, building up what scientists call cognitive reserve. This is essentially your brain's ability to stay resilient and naturally compensate for the everyday wear and tear of aging.
Let's look at how Elena wove this into a totally realistic daily timeline. In the morning, while she's just waiting for her coffee to brew, she does a 5-minute kitchen dance, just swaying and tapping her feet to a favorite Motown track. Then, in the afternoon, she transforms her standard neighborhood stroll into a walk-to dance. She pops on some upbeat music and just lets her arms swing and her steps catch the rhythm. And on the weekends, she and her husband share a simple partner sway in the living room. It's really that simple. If you can gently sway or even just tap your foot, you can easily integrate these highly accessible, profoundly beneficial moments right into your day. Let's break down the hidden benefits Elena experienced from this, starting with a massive one. Benefit 1, better balance and fall prevention. By doing her daily kitchen dances, Elena was constantly, naturally shifting her weight. She was changing direction and recovering her posture. This actively trained her proprioception, which, if you're not familiar, is just your body's awareness of where it is in space. And it improved her reactive balance. Over time, that lingering, quiet fear of falling, it faded. She found a completely natural way to support fall prevention. She felt grounded, confident, and finally steady on her feet again.
Benefit number 2 tackled that awful morning stiffness, stronger bones and lubricated joints. Dance, even just gentle swaying and stepping, is a weight-bearing activity. The rhythmic, gentle impact of stepping to the beat actually sends signals to your bones telling them to stay dense and strong. At the same time, it takes your hips, knees, and ankles comfortably through a nice, dynamic range of motion. This naturally lubricates the joints without any of the repetitive, high-impact stress you'd get from something like running. Alana quickly found her joints felt so much more fluid and, well, much less cranky in the morning.
And the benefits extend right to the heart. Listen to this number, 46%. Research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine shows that dancing is associated with a 46% reduction in cardiovascular mortality risk. That makes it totally comparable to moderate-intensity aerobic activities. It proves it's just as good for your heart as it is for your brain. By adding a little bounce to our afternoon walk, Elena was gently elevating her heart rate, supporting her cardiovascular fitness, and doing it all with a massive smile on her face.
Which perfectly brings us to the emotional transformation, elevating mood and easing stress. Dancing naturally lowers cortisol, which is our body's primary stress hormone, while simultaneously flooding your system with feel-good endorphins and dopamine. For Elena, her daily dances became her ultimate stress relief valve. Studies actually show that dance is often more effective at easing anxiety and lifting your mood than just listening to music alone or doing mechanical exercise alone. The combination of music and movement, it creates this powerful synergy that just makes you feel so alive.
Finally, there's a really profound benefit to our sense of belonging. Benefit 5. Deepening social connection. When Elena and her husband engaged in their weekend partner sway, literally just holding each other and moving to a slow song, it activated her social vagus nerve and released oxytocin, the bonding hormone. They didn't need to learn complicated choreography or honestly even say a single word to each other. The simple act of moving in synchrony fostered this deep, comforting sense of togetherness and social connection. And we know for sure that social connection is a massive pillar of longevity.
Now I want to pause here for a second because this next thought is the true heart of today's explainer. Dance is not a performance. Dance is about moving your body to music. If you are sitting there right now thinking, yeah, right, I have 2 left feet, or I'm way too old to start dancing, I want you to let that go right now. You don't need a partner. You definitely don't need to get the steps right. There is no audience, and there is absolutely no judgment here. It is purely about the joy of movement.
So how can you step into this transformation today? Well, here are 3 simple, completely actionable ways to begin. First up, try the kitchen sway. Tonight, while you're making dinner or washing up, put on one song you absolutely love and just sway your hips and tap your feet. That's it, 5 minutes. Easy, right? Second, add rhythm to your daily walk. Pop on some headphones, play a fun, upbeat playlist, and just let your steps catch the beat. And third, if you want a bit of structure, pull up a free beginner's senior dance class on YouTube right in your living room and just follow along at your very own pace.
Now, as always with our explainers here on Vital Elixir, I do need to give a quick reminder that this information is educational, not medical advice. While dance is a wonderfully natural way to support healthy aging, it is not a medical treatment. If you have existing severe joint issues, a history of falls, balance disorders, or any cardiovascular conditions, please have a quick chat with your healthcare provider or a physical therapist before starting any new movement routine. Start gently, listen closely to your body, and never push through sharp pain. Your safety and well-being are always our absolute highest priority. To wrap up our session today, I want to leave you with this one final question. What song will you play today? You are incredibly capable of taking this one simple, joyful step toward a much more vibrant, independent life. You really don't need to force a routine you hate. You just need a little space, your favorite tune, and the willingness to move. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, turn up the music, treat your body with kindness, and keep living your vital life.
I want you to picture something for a moment. You're standing right in the middle of your local grocery store. You're actively trying to make the right choices to protect your independence, your mobility, and your brain health as you get older. You know, you've read the articles, you've checked the labels, and you've filled your cart with things that just look incredibly wholesome. Yet, despite doing everything absolutely right, you still find yourself feeling completely sluggish by 2 in the afternoon. Or maybe your joints are feeling a bit achy and your blood sugar just won't seem to stabilize. It is a deeply frustrating place to be, and honestly, it's a story I hear constantly.
You might grab one of those green labeled granola bars or a fancy bag of gluten-free veggie chips, and in that moment, you feel virtuous, right? You really feel like you're investing in your long-term health. But here is the honest truth, and I want you to hear this loud and clear today. If your body isn't responding the way you hoped it would, it is not your fault. It is absolutely not a lack of willpower. You are simply navigating a system that is literally designed to confuse you.
Okay, let's dive into this. What you're actually up against is a $300 billion health food industry. Over the past few decades, they've perfected a single, devastating marketing trick designed to keep you buying ultra-processed foods, all while firmly believing you're eating healthy.
It's called the health halo, and it's a brilliantly effective marketing trick. It essentially slaps green labels, rustic farm imagery, and buzzwords like natural or made with real fruit onto ultra-processed, sugar-laden foods. It's specifically designed to make well-intentioned adults over 55 reach for these products simply because the packaging implies youth and vitality.
Let's look at their playbook. They basically use 5 main tricks to bypass your logic. First up is the green label effect. Our brains automatically associate the color green with nature and health. Second are front-loaded claims, screaming things like high fiber just to distract you from the sugar content. Third, tiny serving sizes make the calories and carbs look low at a quick glance. Fourth, disguised ingredients. They hide sugar under 10 different complicated names. And finally, the 5th trick, which is perhaps the most deceptive of the whole bunch.
Natural flavors. Now this is a legally vague loophole. It sounds wholesome, doesn't it? Like a fresh squeeze of real lemon or a simple dash of vanilla. But in reality, it can contain dozens of unknown chemical compounds, solvents, and preservatives used to artificially stimulate your taste buds. It leaves you completely in the dark about what you're actually ingesting and what might be triggering your fatigue or inflammation.
Let's look at our very first offender, whole grain granola. The box might look like a pristine farm, but a single serving can hide up to 25 grams of sugar. The grains are so heavily pulverized that they digest almost exactly like candy, sending your blood sugar on a total roller coaster. The true swap here? Just intact steel-cut or rolled oats. You get 0 added sugar, incredibly steady morning energy, and for a fraction of the cost. We're talking about 50 cents a serving compared to $2.50 for the granola.
Offender number 2 is the classic protein bar. Now, as we age, maintaining our muscle mass is absolutely critical for preventing falls and staying independent, so naturally we look for protein. But many expensive protein bars are essentially just candy bars with a gym membership. They are loaded with processed oils and up to 30 grams of sugar. A beautifully simple alternative is a hard-boiled egg. It gives your muscles 6 grams of high-quality protein, contains 0 added sugar, gives your digestive system a much-needed break from processed emulsifiers, and it literally costs a quarter.
Next, let's talk about gluten-free snacks. Unless you actually have celiac disease or a specific sensitivity, a gluten-free label on a box is not a health guarantee. Processed gluten-free cookies and crackers often rely on high-glycemic potato or rice starches, meaning they can actually contain more sugar and empty calories than the regular versions. You are vastly better off choosing whole foods that are naturally gluten-free, like sweet potatoes, beans, or quinoa. Some research suggests these whole foods may support healthy digestion, and they definitely provide sustained fuel for your day.
Next up, we have low-fat products. We were taught for decades to fear fat, right? But when manufacturers strip the fat out of yogurt or salad dressing, they also remove the flavor and the texture. To fix that, they pump it full of sugar and chemical thickeners. Healthy fat is not your enemy. Choosing a full-fat Greek yogurt over a low-fat sugar bomb actually keeps you satiated, may help support your hormones, and really helps you avoid that dreaded afternoon energy crash.
Offender number 5 is a really tricky one. Organic junk food. You see, the word organic refers to farming practices, not nutritional value. An organic cookie is still just a cookie. Organic sugar is going to spike your blood sugar just as fast as conventional sugar. The label doesn't make it healthy, it just makes it much more expensive. An ordinary, conventional whole apple is a vastly superior choice for your body than a glass of organic apple juice. We see the exact same thing happening with plant-based meat alternatives. Look, we all want to do good for our hearts and the planet, but many of these tech-forward plant-based burgers are heavily ultra-processed. They're packed with protein isolates, lots of added sodium, and highly processed oils. True, sustainable health actually comes from whole plant foods. If you want a plant-based meal, a simple bowl of lentils, chickpeas, or tofu offers incredible natural fiber and protein.
Finally, offender number 7, superfood powders. The sleek marketing promises to totally transform your health, charging anywhere from $30 to $60 for a small tub. But they very often bury tiny, ineffective amounts of active ingredients under cheap fillers. You can bypass this nonsense entirely by simply eating real blueberries and real spinach. They are affordable, and they provide the intact fiber and hydration your body actually needs to thrive.
Here are your first 3 steps for your next grocery trip. Step 1, completely ignore the front of the package. It's a billboard, not a fact sheet. Only read the ingredient list on the back. Step 2, aim for 5 grams or less of added sugars per serving. Step 3, prioritize fiber. Look for 3 or more grams per serving. Fiber may actually help buffer those blood sugar spikes and keep your gut feeling great.
And to complete your new routine, step 4, avoid those totally opaque natural flavors or proprietary blends whenever you possibly can. Step 5, spend 90% of your time shopping the perimeter of the store, because that's where the fresh produce, the eggs, and the unprocessed foods live. Step 6, when in doubt, always choose the whole food. Grab an apple over an apple bar, a handful of real nuts over a processed protein shake. It really is that simple.
Now, as a quick but very important reminder, this explainer is meant to educate and empower you. It is for educational purposes only. Always check with your healthcare professional or a registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes, especially if you're managing any chronic conditions or taking medications. Your doctor knows your specific needs best, and we want to keep you safe.
I really want to leave you with this one thought today. Your body doesn't need a marketing department. It needs real food. You absolutely have the power to age with incredible strength, mobility, and confidence. And the good news? You don't need expensive, brightly colored packages to do it. You can achieve it simply by returning to the unbranded, natural whole foods that have nourished human beings for thousands of years.
So I have a quick question for you. Which Health Halo product are you going to rethink this week? Is it the granola, the low-fat yogurt? Leave a comment below about what whole food swap you're going to make. Remember to trust yourself, trust the evidence, and just take it one simple step at a time as you build a healthier, more vibrant life. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today, and I really look forward to exploring more with you next time.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.